And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it.
And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. And a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. Comma and a comma. Gotta get it. And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. And a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. Comma and a comma. Gotta get it. And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. And a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. Comma and a comma. Gotta get it. And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. And a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. Comma and a comma. Gotta get it. Ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. And a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. Comma and a comma. Gotta get it. And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. And a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. Comma and a comma. Gotta get it. Talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. And a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. Comma and a comma. Gotta get it. And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. And a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. Comma and a comma. Gotta get it. And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. And a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. Comma and a comma. Gotta get it. And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. And a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. Comma and a comma. Gotta get it. And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. And a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. Comma and a comma. Gotta get it.
And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it.
And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. And a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. Comma and a comma. Gotta get it. And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. And a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. Comma and a comma. Gotta get it. And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. And a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. Comma and a comma. Gotta get it. And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. And a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. Comma and a comma. Gotta get it. Ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. And a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. Comma and a comma. Gotta get it. And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. And a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. Comma and a comma. Gotta get it. And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. And a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it.
this is ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it.
And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. I'm a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. Comma and a comma. Gotta get it. And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. I'm a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. Comma and a comma. Gotta get it.
All right. Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Head to Head with Brian Parker. I am he. And we are back. Yes. Any reports of our untimely demise was highly exaggerated. Yeah, we've been gone for 2 weeks. Damn, y'all. Can't we have 2 weeks off? But no, just like somebody asked me, he said, man, we on hiatus? No. Last week was my wife's birthday. And she's the producer. So instead of making her work, which I probably should have made her work, make her appreciate what she had. I gave her the day off, so we just went ahead and took it off. Oh, but
that was actually my day off.
Yeah,
my 1 day for the year.
And Craig, congratulations, you did not get fired on your day off. But you could have. You could have. Sometimes you push me, so you could have got.
It was
fired.
Close, bro. It was close.
Yeah. We was on the cusp for a long time.
Yeah.
You pulled through. No, that just speaks to you. You pulled through, Lori. Congratulations. But yeah, so we had to give Lori a little bit of time. When you start getting up there in years like that, we don't want to put too much on her back.
He's up.
Yeah, I know. I mean, she still had to do laundry. Don't get me wrong. But hey, Shosky, joining us on Instagram. There, I see you. How you doing? But yeah, thanks everybody for tuning in. I'll get more into the 50-year-old club jokes in just a second. Oh, I'm sorry, Lori, did I tell your age? But anyway, we are coming in live direct on Amazon Fire TV, Roku TV, LinkedIn, Facebook Live, Instagram, X, formerly known as Twitter, as well as YouTube. So you can catch us on all those streaming channels. And yeah, so thanks for joining. Please go like, share, and subscribe, particularly on YouTube. We are on our drive to 10,000 followers. And all we need is another 9,800 and something to go. But anyway, we will get there one of these days. Your help is greatly appreciated. Make sure that you share the show with others because we can become a bigger community and have a bigger voice out there, which is what we definitely want to be able to do. We know that you could be doing a lot of things right now. We're glad that you're either streaming it live or that you are watching it in a replay, and we appreciate it either way. So please continue to like, share, and subscribe. All right, we are joined right now by two of our co-hosts. We have Lori, Lori Lolo Parker. How you doing, Lori?
I'm doing great, and yes, I am happy to be 50. Yes, because I don't look it at all.
Oh, baby.
That's all right. That's all right. Here's to not looking like you're 50. You walk around here like no, I'm just kidding. Yeah, here's the looking like you're 50.
All I gotta say is you coming up behind. So
oh no, I got at least another 10 years solidly. So,
nope.
He just told a 10-year lie.
You'll be able to
exactly
let me know what that's like. But
you got 6 weeks. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it.
So, it doesn't matter. That still makes you a cougar, and it makes you robbing the cradle because you're.
That's fine. That's fine. And you can say I chased you, and I got you. I got you.
And guys, I just want to tell you what my daddy said was right. Older women will give you worms. But anyway, so you will get worms. I don't know why he told me that. It made me leery of older women for a long time. I'm like, I don't want no worms. Only worm I want is in my tequila bottle. Why she got worms? So anyway,
I don't know why they say stupid stuff like that. My uncle's name would say stupid stuff like that too.
He just wanted to scare you. That's what he wanted to do. He just wanted to mess with you.
I'm like, well, how do they give you the worms just because they're older, but if they were with somebody their age and they don't get the worms. So I had questions, but I just had to say, hey, it's Pops. Of course he's gonna tell me the truth. He ain't gonna mislead me and tell me that older women gonna give me the worms. Man, once I found out that wasn't true, man, older women were just in trouble. But that goes back to a whole nother conversation for another time on head to head after hours. Anyway, and we do after hours because we know Lori is asleep. Anyway, you see what happens when I'm gone for 2 weeks? I'm gonna be in rare form all damn day. I can do this. Anyway, let's also welcome the man, the myth, the legend, the host of Elephant Exposed, as seen on YouTube. Please check out Mr. CJ Jones as he tracks down issues a lot of times revolving around law enforcement, peeling back the onion and making sure that people have a clear understanding of the things that they see, good, bad, or indifferent in law enforcement, how things work, and sometimes misconceptions that may be out there, and trying to be somewhat of a myth buster in a lot of ways. So please check him out, like, share, and subscribe to his page as well. Just go to youtube.com and filter out and search for CJ Jones, Elephant Exposed, and you will be able to find him quite easily. How you doing, Mr. CJ?
I am doing well. Thank you for that beautiful introduction, my brother. And I'm gonna just go ahead and say it, whether I'm around or not. Welcome to the club, my brother. The water over here is fine.
What club is that?
Yeah, it's called the 5-0 Club.
I ain't in that club yet. I ain't in there yet.
Oh yeah.
Ain't in it yet. It's coming. It's coming.
Look. Time don't go in reverse.
6 weeks.
Time don't go in reverse.
Why you got to bring us 6 weeks? Why you
6
got
weeks.
Listen.
You're closer to it now than you was yesterday.
So
I put it like
30, 31, that's 34 plus another. I got 38 days.
Like Lord, I said, you're closer to it today than you were yesterday.
I got 1 week. 1 month, 1 week, and 1 day. Right.
But in the words of my sister, like she just said, 50 look good over here.
Oh yeah,
exactly.
It looks good over here.
It's gonna be good regardless for me. I've always looked quite young. Most people think I'm still in my 20s. That was not a laugh line. Did you hear me play a laugh line?
That was a good one. I gotta write that one down. Okay.
Yes, we basically the water work that out. That's fine. Yeah, it's the water. It's the water on your skin.
Oh, let me try this again. I've always been told I look like I'm in my 20s. Okay. Just make sure my laugh track works. I ain't using it, God knows when. But anyway, man, there's so much stuff going on right now. Man, we go anywhere. First and foremost, congratulations to one Bronny James, who was overly drafted by the Los Angeles Lakers with the number 55 pick. So now we are looking at potentially the first father-son duo on a professional basketball team. His old ass dad wasn't going to retire until he got a chance to play with his son and forced the Lakers' hand to go ahead and draft him. Thank God they were smart enough not to draft him at 17 when they had the first pick. Their first pick at 17. They didn't do that. They did at least wait until 55, where that made somewhat more sense. But we'll see how that goes. I've watched LeBron James' son play, and I don't know if I would want to do that. I don't know how y'all would feel about that, but if you were the child of a world famous athlete, just walking in their shadow and everyone expecting you to inherently be as good as them, or you having that pressure on yourself. I saw what happened with Michael Jordan's kids. They just could not be their dad, and they shied away from it. I know one of them did try to play some ball in college and stuff like that, and the other one decided to just bang Scottie Pippen's ex-wife. But
hey man, you got to go with your strengths, man.
I would choose the easiest path of less resistance too. I just go find one of my dad's teammates' ex-wives and knock it out, blow it back out too. I guess that'd be the alternative to being drafted. But
either way, you're balling out.
You are
But
balling. There's some balling going on.
bowling. No, just kidding. All right.
Yeah, instead of one, I guess there's two in there. But anyway,
There's
I'm sorry,
really
Lori. I
no
can
one
do this. I can do this all day.
left.
I can do this all. Oh, you want to hit the laugh track on that one, Lori?
Oh Lord, you got a laugh button, bro.
I do.
Yes.
See,
CJ, I got listen. I got laughs. I got cheers.
oh wow.
I got kisses. Yeah, that's random. And if I see Trump,
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Absolutely.
or I got yeah. Turn down. Yeah. There we go. Yeah, don't give me. I have not messed with that thing in so long, but yeah, I do. I have a bunch of tracks and stuff. But
Nice.
but anyway, yeah. So it's going to be real interesting to see how this happens because that's going to be a lot of pressure on this young man, a lot of expectations, and the reason that I think about those expectations like that is, and I brought it up a couple of weeks ago, even with this whole Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, and all this other stuff now with the WNBA, where anytime somebody blow on Caitlin Clark, look at Caitlin Clark, stare at Caitlin Clark, or don't sit there and kiss Caitlin Clark's ass. It seems like white folk in America have a hard time understanding that the WNBA was around long before Caitlin Clark was around. I
Exactly.
understand that she's your white hope, but listen, she gotta play now in the big girl league and stuff like that. So every time she get hit, not to the ground, it ain't the end of the world. It ain't the mean black girls in the WNBA treating her some kind of way. They all get hit. They all take their licks. Ain't nobody singling this girl out. But I will say this, like I said before, a lot of times people put targets on people's backs because they anoint people, crown people without them proving it. And CJ, I'll say one that's even closer to home to you, which it could inevitably happen, but I was so afraid if they didn't slow it down and stop, it was going to derail this great guy's career, and that is one Micah Parsons. Micah
Yeah.
Parsons is a linebacker for the Dallas Cowboys. Now, anybody
Yeah.
know how I feel about Dallas Cowboys, but I give their players credit and their due. It ain't the Cowboys I don't like, it's their fans. So let's be clear. The players are exceptional. CeeDee Lamb, Micah Parsons, hell, even Dak. But when Micah came out, CJ, I started hearing Lawrence Taylor comparisons.
Oh yeah, man.
He even played
Yeah.
enough snaps. Now, does he show flashes? Do you kind of see some similarities? Absolutely. But
Yeah.
it is too early to
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. You just said it.
He's
You
going to
just
be
said
the
it.
next Lawrence Taylor. We don't know that.
You don't know that, man. You gotta have longevity.
Exactly. And
You
consistency.
gotta have longevity. I mean, you can always see. I mean, and that's with any sport. I mean, pick it, and we'll pick somebody great and look at. You can always see similarities of someone that did it good or is well on their way or something like that. You will always see a little bit of their spirit, but it doesn't mean that they are that person or they are the second coming of that person. Man, we got to stop. I was going to save it towards the end, so I got a lot that pisses me off, but that's one of my ones is that we need to bring reality back to reality.
Yeah.
And stop blurring the lines between your fantasy and what makes you feel good versus reality and just what is.
Yeah.
Bump your feelings.
Yeah. Big time. Yeah. So, when I see the over, because what that does is it overhypes. And then when they don't meet those expectations, now people have this drop off and disappointment and things like that. And I'm like, well, the reason that you're feeling all of that is because you put misplaced expectations on somebody to begin with. Let it play out a little bit. I've tried to give Caitlin Clark, for example, a whole lot of grace and say, hey, listen, y'all, she had a long college season because of her success. They were able to go deep into the NCAA tournament, and she had a lot less time than some of the other players to go from ending her college career to beginning her professional career. They basically ran into each other. So she's still working off of fumes. So give her that first year of grace to say, okay, she's got to learn the ropes. She's gonna have to learn the ins and outs. There's a lot more travel involved with being a professional player. There's a different regimen. You're not going to class every day and mixing that in with practice. You practice, you train, you watch film, you do a lot of things that are different than just being a college player. Going to the pro
Mhm.
level, there's a whole lot of other things that you have to get used to. So we have to be able to give her that. But there's so many people that want her to come in and just dominate at the beginning. People were just so put off. Sweet Teas Creations. What's going on, Shirley and Tasha? But you've got people that were so offended that she wasn't selected to the US Olympic team. Well, no other rookie was either. But you
Mhm.
but you had other people on there that have been around for a while, and their style of play has been consistent and things like that, and they're on the team. Caitlin Clark is not on the team, and people were outraged about it. And I was just like, why? She just barely got into the league. Why all of a sudden does she start getting anointed with all of these? To be on the US Olympic team is a prestigious thing. It's an honor. It's something that you should work for. People shouldn't just hand you stuff because of what you did in college. What you did in college was good. You were recognized in college for what you did in college. Now you're starting over again in a lot of ways. Remember when you were at the King of the Hill in elementary school, and then you had to start all over and go to middle school or junior high school.
Mhm. Exactly.
Now you wasn't the king on the hill anymore. You was just a little scrub, and you had to start all over again. That's what you
Exactly.
did. You graduated, but now you got to go to the next level and you're starting all over again. All that equity, all that you had stored up being the king of the hill is out the door, and you got to start all over again. Ain't nobody slighting you for that. It's an opportunity for you to go in and make a name for yourself. And I believe she has every opportunity to do that. I just wish a lot of people would just ease up off of the uh unearned accolades and unearned expectations that she should be given things because of what she did in a previous position. When I go work for a new job, it don't matter how many times I was the employee of the month at my past job. That ain't
Mhm.
got nothing to do with my new job. They're gonna be like, "Well, we glad you was an outstanding employee there, but hopefully that's why we hired you because we feel like you have the potential to be that same type of employee here. But guess what? On your second day, we ain't gonna give you employee of the month.
Exactly.
Hell,
Gotta be real.
you might not get it for a couple of months, and that's understandable because we expect you to be able to get acclimated, learn who your coworkers are, learn what your job is. Now we need to see you actually perform that job on a regular basis to then determine, you know what? Lori been doing this for the last 6 months, and she's been really excelling. Why don't we give her employee of the month? Okay,
You should be giving me employee of the month.
you ain't
Yeah.
read her job description, obviously. But anyway,
I should be getting
see,
employee anything.
See, now you one of these Caitlin Clark people where you think you should just get something because you showed up. No, ma'am.
No, I do more than show up.
No, ma'am. You showed up.
No, I did not.
So,
I
but anyway,
perform.
see, I don't want them to know what you be performing. Stop that. Stop that. Yeah, yeah. That's All right, y'all. I'm gonna leave that up in the air. I'm not even gonna clarify what that means and everything. So she put that out there. I didn't. But anyway, so
I perform the duties that is required in this particular position. Absolutely.
I'm gonna leave that alone. I'm gonna leave it alone. Stop it, devil. The devil. For y'all that can't see.
The devil's a lie.
No. There is a little devil on my shoulder, and he keep talking to me, and he keeps telling me to say something, and I ain't gonna say it. But he keep messing with me, and eventually it
Right.
come out. CJ, that's how it works. They
Yeah,
don't.
man.
They keep
Hey,
needling you and stuff like that. I just like, okay, yeah,
resist the devil and he shall
man,
flee.
I
bro.
will not poke the bear then.
No,
Okay.
see, I ain't gonna answer that either. I could go a lot of ways with that. See, I'm trying to be good, Lori, and you just have it in your mind that you want Bad Boy B to come out. You want Pound Town B to come out. I get that, but I'm not gonna do that. So anyway, CJ, what's been going on? I know you doing your Lyft thing. I mean your Uber thing, right?
Oh yeah, bro.
How them crazy people doing out there?
Actually, and ain't nothing changed, bro. Ain't nothing changed. I think that the later on up in the day, the stranger they get.
CJ, can you help me with this though?
What's up?
Why do people feel the need to get in your damn car while they on the damn speakerphone, or worse, while they FaceTiming somebody and you hear all that?
You know what I do? I'm gonna tell you how I handle that.
You turn the radio up. I'm guessing. I'm sorry. I'm guessing.
One of two things I've done, and I think they got the hint. I got involved in a conversation. I just simply turned up my radio.
Damn.
Like if they said something that was interesting or they thought was funny or like whatever it was, I'm going to react because I mean, evidently you want me on the phone. Evidently you want me in your conversation.
Because you invited me in by going back and forth with somebody on the damn.
Let me tell you what happened with this young lady I dropped off the other day. In the heat of the day, you remember when it was like 102? And I'm not exaggerating. It was just the other day. It was 102. I picked her up from somewhere downtown, and I was taking her somewhere. I think it was like towards the outskirts, Elwood area. And I decided to judge traffic because that's what we do. We judge traffic and we look at now either I can go against traffic, that would be quick, but traffic is so thick it's not going to make any sense, or I can do this little cut up here and come back, boom, 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 right? Now this is what I verbally told her. I said, listen, I'm not veering from the path, but would you like to go home? She was like, yeah, sure, no problem. I was like, okay. I said, this is what I'm going to do. I'm gonna go this way, go up there. There's a little place I can turn around and come back, and then we'll be in the flow of traffic. Because other than that, you and I will be sitting here until the cows come home. And she was like, oh yeah, do your thing. As soon as I got about up and around in my little turnaround, her phone started blowing up. Guess who it was?
Oh, she done shared her location with somebody, and now they think that she being kidnapped.
I was like,
yeah.
So she was talking out loud as she was texting her man, and he was like, "Where y'all going? Where you yeah, I mean, I'm giving him the voice. I don't. I wasn't there. This is my text, but she was saying her reactions out loud. So I mean, I have common sense. I mean, it said his name in the app, and I was like, listen. So longer situation. Condensed real short. I was like, listen, I said, please tell your man that his precious cargo is safe and sound. Not only am I a dad, I'm a granddad. I have no reason to try to take you to go anywhere, and especially with a car that has GPS, you can see me and I can see you. That wouldn't be the ideal thing to do, now would it? I said, so please tell my man to relax.
I've had somebody say to me, well, like if two friends get picked up and they added a stop, one gets off before the other one. Well, just stay on your phone with me till you get there. And I told the girl's friend one time, I said, hey, I don't really appreciate that. And she said, yeah, that was pretty terrible. I said, yeah. I said, if you're that worried about it, don't get in the damn car. Right.
Or like the ones, I didn't know how to feel about it at first, but like
You hear
they'll walk
more
around to the backside of your car to look at the
license
your
plate.
tag, and I'm like, mm,
Well, that
okay.
makes sense. They try to make sure it's the right car.
And that why I was like, okay, well, at first I didn't do it, but then this one lady, she took it a step further. She was like, "You don't look like your picture," and I'm like, "I don't look like my picture? Is that a good thing or a bad thing, man?"
Bro, we can go into a whole nother subject about that, how some of them be using these filtered pictures and stuff. And I'd be like, you don't look nothing like that filtered ass picture that you put on your thing. Like,
And
when
these
I'm like, can I help
disrespectful
you?
ass kids,
It's me. No, it's not.
and I'm telling you, these disrespectful ass kids. I
Mm-hmm.
call back to customer service Uber, and I said, "Listen, if I have one more kid to get in my car
Mm-hmm.
and approach me and talk to me like we buddies or friends, we gonna have an issue." I refuse.
Yeah, I always hear
My
about that.
children, my mother, when she was alive, my dad, when he was alive, never call
Mhm.
me by my first name.
Oh yeah, right.
And then when you come into my car, you speak.
Yeah.
Even if it's a hello, a hey, how you doing, whatever.
Correct.
You just don't just open my door, plop your little behind down, sit there and be like, drive. It like
Right.
now you did not now they didn't say that. No,
But
Lord, they ain't that stupid.
that was the
But that's the energy of it.
Mhm.
And so
Yeah.
I turn completely around. I put the car in park, I put my flashes on, and I look at them.
Because
So
you
you
wait.
need a ride, right?
Yeah. Or CJ,
Yeah,
I hate the ones that when the ride is over, they get out and just shut the door and walk off. No, thank you, no nothing. Thanks for getting
yeah,
me here safe. Anything. Just like, well,
yeah.
damn, F you
And
too.
you know, and see, and here's the sad part, or here's the sad, angry part about it. It's us.
Yeah. Oh
No,
yeah,
it's
yeah, 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 yeah,
us.
yeah. All the time, all the time, all the time.
It's
Hey,
us.
hey, Anthony threw in there too, that or they get in your car with food and start eating in your you know, I had signs that say don't do that. And somebody says, "Man, you have to put signs in here to tell people that." That seems like common sense. It's not.
It's
If y'all
not.
think people will sit there and I even had somebody before say, "Hey, why can't we can I eat in the car?" I'm like, "Cause you don't ain't nobody gonna respect my shit like I do." Number one, number two, because here's the thing I think about when you get in a stranger's car is awkward enough. You don't know how sanitary things are. You don't know who just sat in the back of that car and threw the hell up. And if the driver just simply took a bunch of bounty tissues and cleaned that shit up and didn't spray it, sanitize and everything else, already
Exactly.
you grabbing handles and stuff like. I tell you what, you do that after you sit there and you hang on the poles inside of a subway and you put your hand on the stairs in the subway tunnel and tell me why you don't grab no food and put it in your mouth.
Exactly.
Once you get to that point, if you still alive, then feel free to eat my damn car. And you ain't got bumps all over your face or some shit like that. So that's crazy. And then Anthony also said, dude, you have share rides down there. They suspended that during COVID. And they hadn't brought it
No,
back.
no, they did bring it back.
Oh, okay. For Lyft, they
Yeah,
have.
I
Hadn't done
did one about 2 weeks ago.
it. Okay, okay. Don't be smelling like ass in the car, Anthony says. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
bro,
clean
I
up.
don't even tell. Listen, I have a whole cleanup kit. I
I
have a
do,
whole cleanup kit.
and I do too. But I had 3 people the other day get in. I told Lori this. I don't know if you've ever been around. Okay, we talk about our light skinned friends that when it rains sometimes they smell like an animal. Well,
Mm,
these folks got in my car. Now it wasn't that smell, but it was close. It like they was in a house closed in, no ventilation, and they probably had about 4 or 5 dogs in that house, and them dogs sleep in the bed with them. And they were reeking when they got in the car so bad. And then the lady was like, "Can you put the air on blast, like hanging meat kind of blast?" And I'm like, "Oh God, now it's just gonna circulate. I feel sick.
Oh,
Jesus
oh
Christ,
God.
absolutely terrible." Man, smell like the worst kind of dogs in the world. I would have rather had 5 dogs in my car than them. Just how bad it was. Christina says, "Hi everyone, happy birthday to Lori." No, she says, "Happy 75th birthday to Lori. I hope you had a great time if you can remember." Hey friend, greetings and salutations are hard to come by these days because these entitled mofos are sad as they come. It's just a certain level of respect, though. I was
Yeah.
always told when you enter in somebody's house or somebody's car,
Say
you
hello.
speak. You speak.
Speak to people.
It shouldn't have to be CJ driving, and when you open the door, he says, "Hey, how you doing?" He may do that, but you should already have it in your mind to speak when you enter in somewhere.
Wow. And or say good
Anthony said
evening or
right
good
there, "Hey,
afternoon or
hey, Anthony, she made it to 75. We ought to appreciate that. Um, so yeah, she's 75. She'll be 76 in a couple of days. So that's just how it goes for Lori. She ages like that. All you gotta do is count the rings around the leg. You'll see it. Anyway, go ahead,
Yeah,
Lori.
again,
we working on.
all of these are coming your way.
Yep.
That's all I got to say.
I'm 39, baby. 39. Hey, like we say in the old days, 39 and holding.
Oh Lord. Okay. Yeah. Not nothing old.
I took it back, didn't I? I'm
Yeah.
holding.
Yeah. You did. You just dated yourself for real. 39
39
and
plus
old.
11. Come on now.
Look.
Yeah.
Ain't no math test. Ain't no instructors in here other than Christina might. But look, ain't no educators on the panel sitting there talking about no 39 plus nothing. 39 plus 0. We'll do that. What that come out to, Lori? 39.
Not your right age.
Oh, see, you know what? You get close. Get close. But anywho's, so I just thought that was fascinating, CJ. So I'll share experiences every week because it's always fascinating to be able to see that.
Man.
Well,
And you know
speaking
what?
about
a new
Speaking of,
segment.
yeah,
Car
actually,
ride share.
yeah,
right
Be a new
right share
segment.
talk. Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
that ain't a bad idea because there are so many things that I think people just don't understand. There's etiquette involved in ride shares, and I think that we need to educate people. Like number one, about the whole thing about being on your having your uh either your Facebook, you messaging somebody, you talking to somebody, or whether you just watching a bunch of reels in the back and you got it on full blast. And I'm not gonna have the radio up because that's just too much sound competing
right,
back and forth and stuff like. Either you gonna blast your shit or I'm gonna have my stuff on, but it can't be both because that's distracting as hell.
right. And
'Cause half
honestly, and the last couple of writers I had, I actually asked them. I was like, "So you want to play yours, or you want for me to play mine?" And so they kind of like looked at me like, I said, "Because
we can't do both.
obviously you doing your thing, so I'm gonna go ahead and turn mine off." And sometimes I had one person to piss me off, and so I went back to old school. What I did is I turned off my AC and I dropped my windows.
Oh, so let all the wind come into that.
All in the face. And it wasn't on the 102 degree, but that was like there's nice little subtle ways that you can get people's attention and stuff like that. And it's, oh, so would you like for me to run the AC? Okay, well, hello, how are you? How would you like for your ride to be?
I'm the opposite.
And so she's like, oh, and so now she had all polite requests and stuff. When you first got in my car, you didn't want to speak. You want to put your nose up in the air and everything else. You knew enough to say to order the Uber or whatnot and everything. Conversate with me because see, those are the riders that I like.
Okay. You just tickled one more thing for me, and I'm gonna change. I swear. Listen, y'all. Let me go ahead and tell y'all this. I know y'all try to book the cheapest ride, this whole wait and say.
Oh,
It says, and you need to can read
yes,
to a 15-minute wait. It don't mean it's gonna be in 15 because he could pop up in 3 if somebody is close enough in the area to you. So
exactly.
don't sit there and be trying to time the guy. I get off at 11 o'clock. I'm gonna go ahead and call this ride at 10:45 because I just did a 15-minute wait and save, and now he gonna be here in 3 minutes. And if I cancel it, I'm gonna get charged for it, and I'm mad because they came early. He didn't come early. You saved money. They got you somebody quicker than they promised. They will under promise and over deliver. But it's up to 15 minutes, meaning that it could be in 1 minute or it could be as long as 15 minutes. Man, they said it was going to be 15 minutes. I had to sit there and get myself together. No, you should have been effing ready before you called.
I should never have to wait on you.
Period.
I should never have to wait on you.
Or, well, there's a 5-minute grace period. Yeah, but it ain't meant for you to run it all the way down to the last damn second. That ain't what that's for. So I'm just saying, listen, reading is fundamental. It says up to 15 minutes. It is not a guarantee of 15 minutes. I've heard too many people say that, and I go, I know damn well that ain't what it say. And when I had to order a ride one time, I saw it. I was like, oh, that's what I thought it said up to. Don't nobody effing read. Christina says, I had to train the students to speak before they come in my office, and the kids had their parents, and the kids and their parents are now very well aware. I will not speak to you until I hear a hello. I love that.
Yeah,
I love that. Yeah.
yeah,
And
I agree with that.
I
Totally.
treat it that way. And Christina also says, I'm like Coke 45. I'm sure it's what Lori was laughing about earlier. Anthony says, sorry, Baylor O'Brien, you seem like the driver to run over a speed bump to make the passenger mad. You goddamn right.
Yeah, you right.
I
right about it.
I got a Jeep too, and I just got my differential oil
And-
change. So play with me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'll get
Yes,
I'll
sir.
get your ass a hernia.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you be whoa.
Boom.
Oops, my
Boom,
bad.
shakalaka.
I'll be like, I suggest your neighborhood paint these things because they just blend it right in. I ain't even see it. Boom.
Oh, man. People don't read to comprehend.
People do not read to comprehend. Absolutely.
You're right.
People read as little as possible and then get mad when something happens, but it was already explained. They just didn't take the time to comprehend, like Christina said. So, but then it's your fault though that they didn't read and comprehend somehow. Yeah, make that one make sense. But anyway, so other things that are not going to make sense is going to be a thing called the presidential debate tonight, where Donald Trump and Joe Biden are meeting in Atlanta, Georgia, for CNN debate. No audience, and they really honestly think that having the ability to mute the mics is really going to be some kind of effective tool against Donald Trump interrupting and talking out of turn and things like that. I'm going to go ahead and handicap this. That ain't going to work. He's just going to yell even louder and interrupt even more. Watch. The other funny thing about this, y'all, is Republicans have really painted themselves into a corner with this, because for years they've tried to get us all to believe that Joe Biden is basically a puppet, that Barack Obama is still running everything in the background, that aides have to walk Biden around so that he knows where he's at. He has dementia. He's in cognitive decline. He doesn't know where he is. And it was always weird how they would paint him that way, but then say that he's this sophisticated, savvy leader of a crime syndicate covering up crimes that him as his brother and son are a part of, that they can't find any evidence for because he's just that good and that savvy. He is the sleepiest.
You got to pick your freaking struggle.
Yeah. It's like, and it's like
either
they don't.
The man is smart and savvy,
right?
And he's some type of diabolical mastermind, or
Yeah,
he's Sleepy Joe.
it can't be, and it cannot
It
be
can't be
D,
both.
all of the above. It can't be. It can't. But that's what they do. They sit there.
Here's the part that really pisses me off about this whole entire political circus right now.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's what it is to me. I'm sorry for just diving in this one. I told you I have a list of things that done piss me off, but this is one of them too.
Okay.
How is this mother effer is still even considered in the running? Period.
Yeah.
If this was Obama, if this was Jesse Jackson, if this was was it Marion Barry?
Yeah.
If this was Clinton, I named these people on purpose because I want for you to remember what did we do to these people when it was just rumored. These things wasn't even fact checked. They wasn't even checked. They wasn't even fact checked. And we were already saying like, oh no, get them out of here. They're not even worthy of the title.
Mm-hmm.
Then I saw this two idiots, two pastors going back and forth. Both of them supposed to be conservative. One was for Trump, the other one wasn't. One was for all the like rights and all this other stuff, you know, the soup community and everything. And I'm not being funny, it's just too many damn letters. And the other one was, you know, holding, you know, the feet to the fire about, you know, sinning and all this other stuff. And I'm like, both of you are idiots. Both of you are. Because as smart as you are, those are what I call educated dummies. Because you're trying to split the baby between over what's wrong. You're either looking at something according to your belief system, whatever it is, and either in your belief system, it's either wrong or right. And y'all are arguing over something and someone that is completely wrong, no matter whether you want to bring your faith into it or not. So you sound like an idiot either way.
Well, that is true. That is very true, CJ. But I also think that a lot of the Republicans have been watching a lot of either documentaries or they really think and believe that the Republican Party is trying to be like the mafia or something because they probably think that Joe Biden is like Vinny the Chin from the Bonanno family, like when he was acting like he was crazy and he really wasn't, but you know, he was running everything behind hand. It's just kind of like he's either one or the other. The man is 80. Again, everyone has an issue with his age, which again, I understand. But he has more things on the ball than a lot of these other people, and at least he's doing his job and not just taking up hot air.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, listen. They and it's kind of crazy. Trump is 2.5 years younger than Joe Biden.
Exactly.
And he be stuttering and all off.
And they talk about Joe having cognitive decline. Have y'all been hearing this mother effer talk about getting eaten by sharks or electrocuted over the last? Have y'all heard him sitting there talking about you need
water,
bread? Have you sat there and heard this mother talking about how many times you got to flush the toilet for the water to go down? Have y'all heard this mug sitting here talking about what was he talking about? That Nikki Haley was running the Capitol on January the 6th, and she turned down the National Guard. He meant Nancy Pelosi, but he said Nikki Haley. Have you heard this mofo keep bragging about acing and passing a damn dementia test? And then he talks about the doctor that gave it to him, Ronnie Jackson, but kept calling him Ronnie Johnson. But
bro, they don't pay that no attention.
Have y'all heard him sitting there talking about God, what was he talking about the other day that was just so stupid? Talking about Hannibal Lecter as if he was a real person.
Oh yeah. Oh my God.
Talking about the late great Hannibal Lecter. Wait, what? Huh? He
Late
liked to
great.
have
This
like to have
this motherfucker just called Hannibal Lecter the late great.
now. If you transpose that and Joe Biden has said any of that shit,
Any of it.
y'all they would have been sitting there talking about they need to invoke the 25th Amendment. They need to get him out of there. You know, he got the hands on the nuclear buttons and all that stuff. But when Trump says it, oh, he just messing. He's just in jest. He just trying to play with the crowd a little bit. And they make all these excuses for him.
You know, I like to transpose my thoughts, just to see, keep y'all on your toe.
Yeah,
Stop.
I know Obama's not the president, but it's like he is. I know Joe Biden's oh no, you don't. I don't really think sometimes you know who you're talking about, because the problem is he just speaks and he just speaks and he has no idea what he's saying. It was funny because about a week ago, he met with a lot of business people when he went up to Capitol Hill to talk to all the Republicans and stuff. And the business people love to hear about tax cuts and everything else, but they were a little turned off when they heard him speak, because they were like, "Man, he was meandering. He couldn't keep a stream of consciousness. He kept going from one thing to another. He was all over the place."
You know why? Oh wow. Oh wow. My bad.
Yeah.
Because people, like how you said, the tension span of people is so short now. They only like and look at the highlights that they see on Fox News and Friends, and what they call it, like the four or whatever. But when they actually go see this man in real life, I'm sorry, I really got distracted. Then it's like, oh wow, okay,
yeah.
So now they caught between a rock and a hard place, because in that rock and hard place is, okay, now do I stay here just out of ego or for feelings or what? Because I made a major mistake.
Yeah.
But that's what people found themselves doing.
Well, it's funny because what it comes down to is people will just sit there and look at something that's obviously in their face, and because it doesn't line up with their ideological beliefs, they will just find any reason to dismiss it, put a spin on it. And that's nothing new in politics, but it's gotten to a level where it's really obviously dangerous. And to the point where, look, you see all these signs. This man is talking about coming in, putting down tariffs that would basically, he gonna tariff everything, get rid of the income tax. Income taxes is how how we pay for things and everything else. We raise enough money through taxing and things like that to be able to take care of all of our obligations. He wants to get rid of all that and just fund it all through tariffs. Number one, that would mean your tariffs would have to be so devastating that the cost of everything that you buy would go up, which is an inflationary thing to do. All business people have said, if you do that, you're going to take us backwards. We've had record unemployment. We've had record job creation. We've also had record stock market, where the stock market beats itself and then it does it again. The Dow has never been higher. The S&P has never been higher. Yes, inflation is still lagging behind, but we're beating all of the G7 nations when it comes to our inflation and the rate of inflation. So things are in the right direction. But if he comes in and starts tariffing everything like he tried to do the last time, it's inflationary. It's going to sit there and jack up the cost of everything from food to housing, everything, because materials are going to go up. Everything is going to go up as a result of this. So you have somebody there, and people saying, well, it'll be like last time, where he'll say all these crazy things, but there will be experts around him that will be able to control him. Y'all, he's already made it clear that there will not be any adults, quote adults, in the room this time if he gets back in. He is going to get back in. So I will say this real quick. I know a lot of y'all are not happy with Joe Biden, whether it's his age, whether it's certain policies, whether his response to Israel and everything going on in Gaza. Let's be clear. Donald Trump is the president. Not only will Gaza be leveled completely. Not only, but you'll also see Ukraine become part of Russia again.
Mm-hmm.
So we can sit there and not Biden for the things that we would like to see him do. But if you have Trump in there, trust me, y'all, it's going to be worse. And for people to say, well, I'm gonna cast my vote for somebody else, or I'm not gonna vote, then you are giving Trump one more opportunity to get into the White House. A voting protest vote, there ain't no such thing as a protest vote. A protest vote is a wasted vote. It's not wasted from the fact that you have the opportunity to vote and you get to vote your conscience. But a protest vote does not move the needle. A protest vote does not get you any closer to what it is that you want. And yes, black people out there, I know that you have been told that the Democratic Party only comes around every 4 years to talk to you. And other than that, they don't do anything for you. What y'all have to really understand is sometimes the president is like the quarterback of a football team. They get way too much credit and they carry way too much blame. A quarterback can't. A quarterback has one function on the team. He throws the ball. He calls out plays, but he throws the ball. He don't catch. He don't block. He don't sit there and come up with different schemes. He don't. He may call an audible, but his what he does is, in the grand scheme of things, a lot of time limited. What he does a lot of times, though, is he gets everybody in the huddle. Everybody's looking at him, and he tells them what the game plan is. Then everybody else, when they break the huddle, they know what their role and responsibility is, but they still have to go execute once he gets the ball in his hand. Some plays work, some plays don't. But it doesn't mean that it was the quarterback's fault that it didn't work. It means that it didn't execute always the way that it was called. So it takes a lot of other people. Well, what Brian, what does that have to do with the president? President has staff, has cabinet members, has a Congress, and everything else, and all those things have to be on the same page for the quarterback to have any success. So he's just one part of that. But having the right quarterback does matter. Anybody that has a football team that they like, I'm not saying that you can get away with just having Baker Mayfield on your football team. You want that quarterback, that guy that can stand under pressure, the guy that can be there when the pocket starts to collapse, if I continue on with my football analogy. So it is important to have the right person in the role, but you also have to understand that that one person cannot define how the team goes all the time. It takes a lot more pieces for it to work. I say that, y'all, because y'all have to realize the, and I talk about this all the time. Voting is not a every 4 year thing. It is every single year. It starts with the local elections, because this is where a lot of things are happening. And we'll talk about that in a second, where they're talking about the Ten Commandments. But it's the local, it's the state, and then yes, there are federal elections as well. But it cannot just be, and the reason that it has to be that way, guys, is because when we sit there and send people to the U.S. House of Representatives, to the U.S. Senate, there, if those two bodies are adversely against each other, it doesn't matter who the president is. Nothing is going to get done. The only caveat to that, though, is the U.S. Senate has the power, without using the House of Representatives, to elect federal judges who are not, and I'm sorry, not elect, confirm federal judges who end up with lifetime appointments. They're not like local elected judges that voters elect in and out. These mofos get lifetime appointments. Brian, why does that matter? Court of Appeals, circuit courts, district courts get filled with MAGA people, get filled with religious zealots that want to get rid of abortions and contraceptives and in vitro fertilization and things like that. That's why it matters. Why does it matter? You got this lame ass son of a gun down in Florida dragging out Trump's case. Why? Because he sat there and got the appointer confirmed through the Senate. So it matters who we send to these roles. Everybody thought Roe v. Wade would be around forever. It was settled law, settled precedent. Every time they have the confirmation hearing, Kavanaugh, Coney Barrett, Alito, uh, Gorsuch, all of them lie. It's settled law. Ain't nobody gonna try to touch Roe v. Wade and this and that and the other. And as soon as Dobbs came up, they did exactly what they was put in place to do.
Mm-hmm.
So, and how did that happen? Because the Senate majority was Republican at the time. And even though Mitch McConnell denied Merrick Garland, even just the fundamental right of being able, I see it, Lori, the fundamental right of even being able to be confirmed or go through hearings, he said, no, I'm going to hold it up till the next election, waited, and didn't give Barack Obama his appointment because he wanted to move the Supreme Court into what it eventually has become, which is a 6-3 radical conservative majority. Even when Ruth Bader Ginsburg passed away, instead of, like Mitch McConnell said, well, we'll just wait till the election because it's only in 3 weeks. He said, oh, no. We got to go ahead and put somebody in here now. So they're not even going to sit there and be honest with you about what it is that they're doing. They just going to sit there and just do it. So your vote does matter. Christina says our vote is how we are heard. And listen, you can put people in that you don't agree with 100% on things, but you have to weigh out who has your best interest in mind. Not vote on one single issue and say, well, I don't like what he did in Gaza, so F everything else. That doesn't fix anything. And they want you to be that outraged about a one particular issue, and basically you their best weapon when it comes to voter suppression, because you'll let one thing that you don't agree with be the reason that you don't vote or withhold your vote or make some quote unquote protest vote. So all you doing is still playing into somebody else's hands. We can't cheer from the locker room. We need to be in the stands on the field part of the team. Absolutely. And when Scorpion, what's up, Dre? Voting at the local level is very important, but Biden gets the blame. And a lot of times that's the truth, because a lot of times, especially during presidential years, people are more apt to vote down ballot. But a lot of times, what'll happen is they'll look at the name at the top of that ballot, which is Joe Biden, and I don't agree with Joe Biden, so I sit there and anything that says a D beside the name, it ruins their credibility, and it shouldn't. You guys need to judge people based on their record, where they stand with things, or we end up with a bunch of radical people in place. What we're going to do is come back to this, but we got to take a quick commercial break because I got to reset Instagram because they only stream for an hour. So we're going to do that, and then we'll be right back. Introducing Sawyer, Kid Lawyer, Teacher versus Nap Time, a great book that will help your little one with reading, writing, and spelling. Coming from the authors, Shanine and Sheldon Moultrie. Please check this book out and support. Thank you so much. Buying a home is one of the biggest decisions that you'll make. Here at Jermaine Parker Realty, we're here to help you navigate through that process. We know that a home is more than just a place to live. It creates memories. Here at Jermaine Parker Realty, we're here to help. Give us a call and let us get started on your journey. right, and we are back just like that. Thank you. We are back on Instagram as well. Oh my goodness. Thank you, Lori. Appreciate that. But yeah, so we definitely got that going on with the voting and everything. Guys, y'all gonna get tired of me saying that your vote matters. Please make it count. Don't fall for the okey doke. Um, don't fall for and the polls right now are saying that everything is neck and neck. I honestly don't believe it's gonna be neck and neck. I think, hopefully you guys understand it's a binary choice. It's not about trying to, you're not gonna move a movement by voting in dissent against your own interest.
Right.
Again, people want you to take your vote and basically crap on it and not vote in your interest. That's the only way that a lot of these folks that are in power are going to stay in power. Now, do we need to make sure that we are continuing to push our politicians in the direction we want them to go? Absolutely. But until we get rid of some of the other fundamental things like just the exorbitant amount of money that is poured into politics, where
I like that.
where it really does put politicians in a position to say, hey, if I don't sit there and throw a bone to a lot of these groups and lobbyists, then all they're going to do is fund somebody that's going to run against me and it's going to put me out of office. So the problem with a lot of these politicians is they're constantly running for office. Even when they get elected, all they're doing is concentrating on the next election. They're not concentrating on your needs. They're not concentrating on what's going on in your community. We have to demand more from them. We have to say when Joe Biden and Kamala Harris comes to African American community, hey, I need to see your ass more than every 4 years. We know what you guys are doing. You guys need to have round tables. Y'all need to have things to find out what's going on in the community. Don't come check back up on us in Georgia in 4 years. I need to see your ass on a regular basis. And those kind of things. Don't come out just for photo ops and things like that. Speaking of photo ops, did y'all see this bullshit? Excuse my friend. Donald Trump going to appeal to a black church, but wasn't hardly no black people in it.
Man, yeah. Unfortunately I did because I have to be on YouTube to watch this bullshit. I mean, man, yeah.
It's bullshit. You're right.
And then Mr. Coonery himself jumps on there.
Did you hear his
And
prayer?
totally
Did you hear his prayer? You should have heard the prayer if you didn't hear the prayer.
no, and I wasn't trying to.
Oh my God.
Because no, yeah, exactly.
He brought up the 34 counts in the prayer. Anyway, it was just,
Bro, listen. If I hear ain't no if I hear because I'm going to hear it, and it almost make you violent just listening to the level of idiocy that comes out these people's mouths.
it was.
I forget the name of the actual syndrome, but it's very similar to what we would call in the Bible a reprobate mind, to where what you are, what you think is good is actually bad, and what's bad you're calling it good. And I am starting to really be more and more convinced that someone called him like a modern day Jim Jones. And I was like, man, you couldn't be more accurate, because whenever us three, when we were all coming up, Jim like we were kids. Whenever Jim Jones was like the talk of the decade or century or whatever. But this is almost like a Jim Jones 2.0 for real.
I think it's David Koresh.
Wow.
Because these people are definitely in a cult, and their minds have definitely been wiped. And I'll give you a perfect example of that. The top 3 choices under consideration right now for Trump's VP. At some point, Doug Burgum, a governor of Montana, I believe, said, "Oh, I'd never do business with Donald Trump." And when Anderson Cooper pressed him, said, "Well, why not?" I think it was Anderson Cooper, and he said, "Well, I believe that you're judged by the company that you keep. So I would never do business with Donald Trump. And it was weird because it's like, okay, so you're basically saying Donald Trump's character is a reason that you would not want to associate with him. He's on the short list for VP. Marco Rubio warned everybody that a con man is about to take over the Conservative Party when he was running for president back in, I think it was 2016. He's on the short list to be VP, even though there's a caveat with that. Sorry, y'all might know, keep itching. And the third person, JD Vance out of Ohio, sat there and said that Trump was a modern day Hitler. He's on the short list to be VP. Said, I don't like Trump. He's a joke. He's this, he's that. All three on the short list to be his VP. Now, Rubio is going to have the hardest time with that because the Constitution, there's an amendment in the Constitution, I believe it's the 12th, that does say that the president and the vice president cannot be from the same state. So Marco Rubio, so if Marco Rubio were to do it, it would be Trump basically saying, bitch, you got to move.
Yeah.
And here's the problem with Rubio. He could not stay a U.S. Well, they could try to get around it, but he's not supposed to be able to stay a U.S. senator because he would be the U.S. senator from Florida.
Right.
If he changes to a different state, well, you can't be the U.S. senator from that state because that state already has two senators.
Right.
Two of them, a junior and a senior senator. So you can't have three. So he would have to resign from the U.S. Senate.
Right.
Okay. That's the easiest way for him to do it. Now, what they could say is he could wait until after the election, because as long as he does it before December the 15th, when the votes are certified, he could do it up until that time. And that is true. That's a wishy-washy way through the Constitution because they didn't expect any of that to happen. So he could get away with that. But it's just kind of fun. And so I bring up the whole David Koresh thing because it's like the same people that said all this stuff. Lindsey Graham famously said Donald Trump is a race-baiting xenophobe and all of that stuff. You see all these other Republicans that said all these things about him. And now all of a sudden they done turned around and went through the mind wipe. It's like going to watch Men in Black and they look at the neuralizer and they say, okay, everybody, we're gonna need you to look right here. Boom. You now love Donald Trump. Everything he says is great. He's gonna make America great again.
And then when you show them,
goes, G. Willikers.
And then even when you show them what they said, like how they did, like what's your girl on the four, the Latino judge that sits, when they showed her the split and of what she was saying before and then what she says today, oh, that doesn't matter, it's in the past. And you're like, okay, now you supposed to be the same people that's supposed to, like how we like to say, stand on business, right? Why you ain't standing on that?
Yeah, they are.
Because her and her husband were indicted, but however.
Listen to you. But
Andre,
no, go ahead, man.
Perfect preach CJ, perfect analogy about Jim Jones.
Ty,
what's going on, Mr. Ty Harris? He says all you have to do is kiss the ring and you too can be the next Mike Pence. That's exactly right. And that's what he's really going to do with Doug Burgum. All he wants is somebody to be obsequious to him, do everything that he says, and basically it doesn't matter if it's lawful or not, just have that yes man right there in place. And it's like you will sit there and throw away all of your morals and everything just so you can be in a position of power. And guys, that's really what it comes down to is power. Power, power, power. It has nothing to do. And listen, I'm not going to sit there and lie to everybody and say that is a one-party, one-sided issue. That is the problem in government, period. It don't matter if it's Hakeem Jeffries. It don't matter if it's Mike Johnson. It don't matter if it's Jamal Bowman. It don't matter if it's Lauren Boebert. Sorry, Jamal. He just lost his primary in New York. But anyway, But it doesn't matter. It's all over the place. Power. The problem with the power is they have too much of it and we have not enough of it. The power should be always with the people. That's again why y'all need to vote. Now, let me change up gears real quick because we're seeing other power plays being made on more state and local levels. I'm sure y'all heard about Louisiana sitting here mandating now that the Ten Commandments have to be posted in every school in the state of Louisiana. And that's drawing some outrage from groups like the ACLU, where they're basically saying, wait a minute, y'all can't do this. This is not a separation of church and state and things like that. Um, and then there's the conservatives that are saying, well, I mean, what's wrong with having commandments up to say, thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not commit adultery, and all these other things? Well, there's in and of nothing. But where does matter, my place of work, it's not a Christian uh business. So, I work for Red Roof Inn. I could go to Red Roof corporate headquarters and tell you right now the Ten Commandments are not held up. It don't mean that there ain't no Christians in the building.
Right.
So, but there's always been a separation of church and
Church and
state.
state.
And my job isn't even a state job. But there's always been a separation. But now people are like, well, I don't see nothing wrong with it. You know why you don't see nothing wrong with it? Because you agree with the Ten Commandments. But then when you ask them, well, what about people that don't worship God or worship that God? Maybe they worship Allah. I heard a guy say the other day, well, Allah is the same God as ours. They just think that Jesus Christ is a prophet. You see, this is what happens when you have uninformed, stupid ass people and you put a mic in front of them and they start talking. And then you go, see, this is why education is important. And these people are trying to dumb it down and take away books. No, we need more books. Because yeah, dude actually did say that. But what if some people are they don't worship nobody?
Atheist.
Yeah, they're atheists. They don't believe in anything. Why are you putting up the Ten Commandments in front of me? Oh, well, if they don't want to sit there and acknowledge it, they ain't got to do it. Yeah, you tell a 9-year-old kid that I'm the only one here. My parents are atheists, and I don't want to sit there and see that shit. But I got to act like it's okay because I don't want to be looked at by the rest of my classmates as some outsider. Yeah, tell me what kid is going to feel that pressure. So, and then here's the thing: I just saw literally 4 hours ago today, the state of Nebraska's superintendent is doing the exact same thing. Now the Ten Commandments have to be implemented into Nebraska public schools. That just happened like literally 4 hours ago.
Wasn't there something about like Oklahoma as well? Or
I'm sorry, I'm sorry. It wasn't Nebraska. It was Oklahoma. I missed
Okay.
Oklahoma. I'm
Now,
sorry.
may I put my little 2 cents in here?
Yep.
Okay. As a Christian man, and you hitting the nail on the head. There was a separation of church and state for a reason. Because of that little thing called the First Amendment, guys, to the Constitution. I don't know how we got off track, but that little amendment in there says the practice of your religion. It was left open for a reason.
Yep.
Because there was an understanding that even for those people that signed off on the amendment, realized, hey, even though we are, let's just say, Episcopalian or something, not everybody was Episcopalian.
Yep. Yes.
Oh, you got Mormons, you got Lutherans, you got Catholics, you got all kinds of stuff. And even though we don't really all and like you said, it does not matter as long as there was a level of human decency in it and a respect for other people. See, the whole point of having these rights, like the right of free speech and different things like that, the right to protect your home, to bear arms. But see, you got to understand, all these things came with an understanding or a deeper meaning than people just spewing off stuff just because it's just been repeated over and over.
Yeah.
So whenever you even so let me put it into law enforcement terms. For every big title, there's a thing called elements of that crime. So say for instance, first degree or capital murder. In order for you to have first degree or capital murder, you got to have certain elements in line to prove that that's what that is. Okay, you got to prove intent, willingness, knowing, different things. Like you got to pretty much pre-plan it out. Okay, so the same thing happens in our Constitution whenever you talking about people are having the right to express themselves or whatever. You have the right to express yourself. You do have the right to bear arms and all of that. But all of that was considering where you were, and that was in your home.
Mm-hmm.
That's where that comes from. And please don't take my word for it. Look it up yourself. Stop looking to other people and other people experiences and stuff. Read it. It's not hidden. It's right there for you to read. But you are in violation whenever you want to take your particular or the rights and the freedoms that's given to you and the privileges that are given to you, and you are imposing those freedoms, those privileges, and those rights on other people. That's what makes you wrong.
But these are the same people though that'll sit there and say, if I see two gay guys walking down the street holding hands, they putting that in my face.
Again, you have the power to walk away.
But they talk about
if it's around and you also you should be, because I know the secondary piece of that argument, they're like, I got kids. You haven't educated your kids by now? Then
right.
That would be neglect.
Mm-hmm.
You're not preparing your child for how today's society is, then that's on you.
Yep.
Because I'm telling you right now, my children are educated. My children are strong enough. They know when they see, okay, that's not how my dad raised us, and that's not according to our faith. But we don't judge people because I don't have a heaven or hell to put you in. That's on you.
Mm-hmm.
Like how we say often in my faith, it is a personal walk.
Right.
It is a personal choice. I'm not going to impose anything that I am convicted by.
Right.
And I'm going to impose it on you.
Right.
You are still my brother and sister, and we don't live our lives the same.
Mm-hmm.
That should be a perfect example. I love y'all I call you brother, little sister, because of everything else that we have in common. But I don't drink.
And younger. Yeah.
Y'all drink.
Mm-hmm.
I cuss like a sailor. But that's so but Lori, I've never heard you talk like me. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is she's bouncing back to what you were saying. We take these little things that we disagree with, and then we want to split the baby.
Yeah.
And like how we had it down in that banner, that's what we mean by united we stand, divided we fall. Mm-hmm. Because you want to take these little differences. Oh, I don't quite rock with you on that. I don't quite rock with you. But what is the overall picture? And so you don't think that the other side don't know that? That's why we can't come together as a culture, because they are constantly pitting us against one another about the little small things, because they know that we're just that petty in thought. And all of that is conditioned behavior.
Yeah. Ty says, and it's the same people who are voting for a guy who routinely violates 9 of the 10 of the commandments and brags about his ability to commit murder with no accountability. I can shoot someone on Fifth Avenue and get away with it. I just grab them by the, you know what? They just love it. You're a star. You can do what you want. And then when he's deposed, he says, well, it's just been like that way for the last million years, fortunately or unfortunately. And then Ty also says, the religious right has lost the moral high ground by embracing. Absolutely. 100%.
Yes.
And that's the thing that they cannot
Yes.
reconcile.
And
How-
that is a sad truth.
how
That
do
is
you
a very sad truth.
How do you sit there and embrace him when he's been known for doing all these things, whether it was the porn stars while his wife was at home, just gave birth to Barron, whether it was all of the different wives, whether it was all the different um, accusations of sexual assault and things like that.
Exactly.
And they can go and sit there and say, well, you know, people just coming after him because he's really Jesus, and which I got another problem with too when they sitting there putting him in pictures with Jesus holding him, or him talking about he got wounds on him and scars as if he's been hung up on a cross. Him or Marjorie Taylor Greene talking about Trump is being persecuted just like Jesus was persecuted. Like, you know, I thought they hit the low.
That was real quick. Ain't nobody back in Jesus' day, today, or ever will be persecuted like Jesus was. Period.
And with my low Christianity, I can honestly tell you that the whole story about Jesus was finding the one person that was perfect enough to take everyone else's imperfections and put it on the cross with him.
And there you go.
That's why I said there will never be.
Compare Donald Trump to somebody that would put other people before himself and sacrifice himself for other people. Y'all need to, if you believe that, then you are part of a cult. You need help. There is help available, but you have to realize that anytime you are ready to compare Donald grab him by the coochie Trump to Jesus, I'm sorry, y'all tell me the part of the scripture where Jesus walks into a tabernacle and starts grabbing them by the coochie. Y'all tell me where Mary Magdalene's sitting there pregnant and he over there banging Joseph's wife.
Right.
Y'all tell me that story. I'm listening. I got time. Thumb through your little pages. Tell me where, your little sticky pages at that, and find it for me, because it ain't in there. I know it ain't in there, but I'm just messing. But it's just so crazy how they try to equivocate one thing and then dispel something else and say, okay, it's same here, but it's not the same there, and then doesn't make sense. And it's like, but they'll swear up and down that Joe Biden is the most anti-Christian, yet he's in church every single Sunday. And it doesn't mean just because you're in church every Sunday that you have any kind of high ground. But my God, if Trump walks into a church and puts his hand into the baptism pool, I guarantee you it will steam up. I guarantee it. Ain't no way in the world. It reminds me of that scene when what was it with Keanu Reeves and
the Devil's Advocate.
Devil's Advocate.
Devil's Advocate.
Like, and he's in the church and he goes, that's Donald Trump all day, every day. Like, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Man, if you threw him in that pool, he'd come out foaming at the mouth and everything.
Actually, in some of these churches, he might just fit right in. Anyway, never mind. I'm sorry.
Not sharks. Anyway.
What I don't like is.
Yeah, so let's jump in because we are at the end of the show. We could go on and on about the Trumpism. What I don't like, Lori, since you brought it up, what is it that you don't like, darling? Other than being 50.
No, I actually like being 50. What I don't like is people that are last minute, especially when you give them time. Especially when you sit here and you over communicate the same thing and they still come up and ask a question on the stuff that I've just communicated, and they wait until the entire last minute, even though they had been given ample amount of time. Why must you be, or just as drivers who decide to get out of the turning lane to merge, and they got to wait to the last little bit right before it ends for them to get over. That's what I don't like.
Yeah, we call those Texas exits. because they are notorious for that down in Dallas. That's right. I put Dallas out there.
All right, CJ, what don't you like?
Woo, let me pull from my list.
Yeah, I know you got a little bit.
All right, so I'm gonna put a little twist on here.
All right.
I forgot his last name, but I remember his first name. The Swole brother, Mr. Aaron, with the pop the balloon situation. And at first, both of y'all look kind of strange, man. That was viral. Anyway, I'll go into more detail about it later. But anyway, so this brother turned out to be just like that sister that claimed that someone had hit her upside the head with a brick and all this other stuff. And she showed before and after pictures of her face being swollen and stuff. Come to find out that she was just scamming.
Mm-hmm.
I'm tired of scammers, bro, because this is how we lose trust.
Yeah, credibility.
You have people out there that see a situation and they can relate to it for real. Mm-hmm. And at first, I drunk the Kool-Aid. As a matter of fact, I drunk it so much where I almost did a Mr. T and TB Elephant Exposed reaction to him being mistreated, because I actually thought that this young man, being 29 years old, if he's 29, and if he's an actual plumber or not, don't know that for real now. Come to find out that it was all a scheme for what he was really trying to do, and that was to get a GoFundMe going for $15,000, and he almost made it.
Oh wow!
He went. They donated, I think it was like $1,300, but see, he couldn't pull it until he had to show receipts of him actually losing his job, because he went on this dating show, Pop the Balloons. There was some back and forth. It was kind of comical or whatnot, blah blah blah. But the reason why he went viral, the reason what made his situation so special, is that because he claimed that after the show, the women were so upset with him, 500 women called up his job and made the company look so bad to where they just had to let him go. Well, you had all kinds of brothers that was supporting this guy and being like, "Oh yeah, that's messed up," and I was one of them. And right as I'm about to try to gather up my facts, come to find out, it was no facts to be found. Scammer.
Mm-hmm.
So then again, it causes the real ones to get overlooked, to get underserved, and they have injustices because of scammers, schemers, pranks, whatever they are. Grifters. That's the professional name for them. Because they went out there and have destroyed it for everybody. That's what I don't like.
All right. Well, I'm going to end it with a little levity. Congratulations to the Boston Celtics. They beat the hell out of the Dallas Mavericks. So now the NBA season is over. As much as I've watched, mostly playoffs. NFL season has been over for a couple of months now. So now we're into the stretch of the dog days of summer. Yes, baseball is still alive and breathing, even though my Yankees are looking really, really bad in the Subway Series right now with the Mets. But that's a whole nother story. I don't like that either. Yankees, why the hell are y'all giving up so many runs to the Mets? I don't like that. Anyway, that's a whole nother story. But it's the dog days of summer. I don't like not having football or basketball right now. I don't like it. But guess what? I got good news, Lori. You got about another 30 days. And training camp is here again. It'll be time. Oh, I can almost smell it, Lori. I can smell in the air. I smell linebackers. I smell wide receivers.
Wafting.
I smell it coming. So I see the Olympics. Absolutely. That's the Olympics. I smell football, Lori.
Got
Oh,
him.
they coming.
We fucking got him.
Smell them. I smell it coming. I ain't smelling no jock straps because I don't go like that. But I do. I smell them coming. I smell them 2-a-days. I smell them practices, them OTAs, Lori. They coming. And you know what's gonna happen after that, Lori? You know what's gonna happen? Then we're gonna get a little bit of preseason. Then we're gonna get the regular season, Lori. Then we're gonna get 18 weeks of regular season head-to-head football. Sunday night, Monday night, Thursday night. Woo! Can't wait. And you know what else I can't wait about, Lori? Ooh, coming in August for its 5th season. Head-to-head sports. Brian Parker, Randall Hargrove. We're gonna be back in the chair. We're gonna do it all over again. We're gonna start our preseason. Now, preseason gonna be a little bit different. We're gonna condense it because yes, me and Lori going on a cruise the second week of August. So we're gonna be out for a bit. Normally, when I would be doing the show, can't do it from the boat, but we're gonna get it in before that opening game, which I believe is a Thursday game between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Baltimore Ravens, if I'm not mistaken. And then that full Sunday after that, it'll be the rest of the games. So we're gonna get some football back up in here because this is the time of the year where it is not always good to be a sports fan because very, very slim pickings. The only thing I like about the Olympics and about the WNBA right now, if you're in North Carolina, you got your sports books, go ahead and get your bet, get your parlay going, but bet responsibly and bet wisely. Don't bet with your heart, bet with your mind. With all that said, thank y'all for joining us for another episode of Head to Head with Brian Parker. Let me thank my co-host, Ms. Lori 50-year-old Parker, and Mr. TBS CJ Jones. We will see y'all again next week. Y'all stay safe out there. We are out. Peace.
This is ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it.
And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. I'm a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. Comma and a comma. Gotta get it. And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta